All right, Shalom. We'll start by saying, Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love always to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all true sincerity. All right, man. Once again, we're here out here prophesying the downfall of America. We're out here prophesying, telling our people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, that you are the children of Israel, telling you that the things happening right now befalling upon you and the whole earth is all judgment from the Heavenly Father. Like brother, it's like hella current event news things going on. I mean, you got the whole ICE deportation thing. You got the plane crashes. You have the war, the third world coming quickly. You have the beast system being up and more, running more. You have a whole bunch of things happening as we speak right now. Was it February 1st? All right, Trump has been in office for 2 weeks already, and already man has like done impeccable things as far as these executive orders and just basically like the whole vibe and the whole flow of America and how shit is now, basically, what I'm saying, in lack of better words, how things are. What I'm saying? It all points to like these devils know they have a short time. And the things that they're doing, the things that they're doing are showing that they're trying to get into a certain space where like they feel like they are the top guys. But like the scripture says, it says we would have held Babylon, but she is not healed. So no matter what they do, no matter how many people they deport, no matter how many terrorists, no matter how many things they do, America is still over, and America is still going to be destroyed. All right, what you have, speaker?
I'm going to start at the 10th verse. Revelation chapter 12, verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength in the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed.
And the power of his anointed, it said what? The
kingdom of our power.
The kingdom of our power, who is our power? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which means what? That means Yahweh Shai is going to be on the earth very soon with us, man. And there's going to be no more debating on whether there's any other gods and who the one true living God is, because he's going to show himself. Remember, the Lord said that, the day is near, it is near. So as each day goes on, we're getting closer and closer to Yahweh Shai's return. And as the day goes on, as you see the certain events that's happening, like what else does it point to? You got these devils, they getting a whole biometric, what they call it, a biometric palm payment, the palm payments. I did it was an article that came out December 31st, it was like a month ago, and they were talking about how they said Amazon, JP Morgan, that's Chase, JP Morgan, MasterCard, Visa, and like this Chinese company, how basically they're all on board. They said they're increasingly on board with the palm payment and the biometric shit and the digital wallets and the My ID and all that shit, man. Which means what? On top of all the war and all the turmoil you got going on, they still coming in with their new system. And that's also in the book of Revelation where it talks about the image and the man and the beast and all that, man. That's what's coming to fruition right now, but go ahead.
It says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Yeah, that Esau be talking shit about us, man. Talking what lately they've been saying? We said they're grapists, they're lazy, they steal.
Saying that basically the reason why America is crumbling is because of Jake.
Right.
The whole DEI, the whole immigration and the whole DEI programs, they're all pointing the finger at Jake being the reason why Babylon is broken. And that goes back to what Nero did during the time of 64 AD when the third part of Rome was caught on fire. Nero blamed the Christians. And when the scripture tells you that the disciples were first called Christians first at Antioch. So that's why you had a heavy persecution on the Israelites in Rome during the time of Nero. And you see that same spirit because, Donald Trump and, we believe in the spirit is Nero. Seeing that same spirit being brought back into Babylon.
Sure. And actually, it's funny with all that. Ironically, when he got in office, well, I think the wild part was a little before him, but when he got in office, like, look at all the chaos that's been happening as far as like just them plane crashes, for instance. Those were causing fires, and he's saying that I didn't know that the head of the FAA safety motherfucker was a Jake. Yeah, the director was a Jake. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? So that goes to show, like, you see where they're trying to shift the guilt to.
It's the narrative.
Yeah. They trying to shift the guilt over to Jake, starting with the northern tribe. But they don't forget you southern tribe, you niggas, that Trump is going to be whatever. Yeah, Trump, he going to expose his horns. Remember this, the Lord said all the tribes. He should have started my sanctuary first. Jacob's trouble. This place, America going down, Jacob's going to feel it the worst. Now, of course, Esau going to feel it the worst at the end, but as the And if you come into like the set perils, the Lord said, nah, Jake, this is a time of Jacob's trouble. Not the heat, the Jacob's trouble. Because remember, all the other nations, they're going to start going back to their other lands. But go ahead.
It says, verse 11, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.
And that goes to show that can't be talking about the majority of the people on the earth. Because the majority of people on this earth, they want to save their life. They want to preserve their life. Majority of Jake. That's especially majority of Jake in America. You talk to an average Jake in America, they'll complain all day and long about how fucked up it is, how messed up it is here, but they'll never say this place needs to be destroyed. They'll never say that. Like I was talking, told a brother about Riz Islam. I think named Riz Islam. You know what I mean, that Muslim dude. Now he be talking a lot about the V and how they was like evil about it, but he don't never say that this place need to be destroyed. You see, the thing about that Islam and these other religions, say they want to still cohabitate. The Lord is not, they want to fix America, but remember, we would heal Babylon, but she is not healed. The reason why Trump whole thing was make America great again is because these Edomites and these leaders, they see that America is done. It's done, and you can't change that. You can't go back in time. That's why the Lord said, yo, go back to the day that is past. They wish they could. That's why you think they always like going back into like, yo, bringing things how it was, like these old shows, old movies. But yo, you can't go back to that, man. It's done, man.
Just to add on with the whole "Make America Great Again," remember that is really a mindset for Esau, right? It's really make Esau supremacy great again. It's mega, right? Because when Esau looks back in his history of America, like that old Edomite dude that you showed, he was like a war veteran. And he said, "This isn't the country."
Dude about to have a panic attack.
Yeah. This is the country I formed. This is the country my boys died for.
Going to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah. So that whole mindset that Esau had of when America was great, it was, and when Esau was great, it was because of the extreme dominance and supremacy that Esau was able to exude here in America over the years, right? And that's all of it's all a hoax, right? It's all just smoke and mirrors, but. There appeared to be a paradigm shifting of letting minorities, especially Jake, now, start first. They was able to vote. They was able to buy houses. They was able to get certain jobs. But then now, times elevating, and through Biden, they was actually giving Jake high level security jobs, right? But them doing that was all a ploy, because all of these things, all of these issues that you got going on in Babylon now, who are the face that was out here talking? Lloyd, what was that dude named Lloyd Austin? Right, the director, Secretary of Defense. You had the Spanish bitch, not Spanish, the black chick up here. She was the secretary of Biden. Yeah. So there's a lot of faces of Israelites that was out here that while shit was crumbling, it was Jake that was over here talking and saying these words, trying to make it seem as though things were better when it wasn't. But Esau, and I got you, but Esau ultimately, they want to get the mindset of the majority of people, especially Edomites, low-level Edomites, to be in the mindset of, in order for America to get great again, we gotta really put the hammer down on these Jakes, man. We gave them too much freedom. We let them to have too much authority in our country, because this country was never meant for you Israelites, man. Especially to prosper here.
Right. And we going back to the high points of America, you got to think about the position your people were in. The other nation wasn't really here like that. You had Esau and Jake. Now, when you go, like, that's not, remember, we're talking about not that long ago. We're talking about a couple hundred years ago. I'm talking about even after slavery was so-called abolished. I'm talking about like when society became like,
50 years ago.
Yeah, 50 years ago. But like, if you go back to the early 1900s, that still was when Jake was still like how the northern tribes acting now. They don't want to come outside. They're like, you know what I'm saying? They feel it's like the hatred is being more upfront again. Yeah. So like they're showing you like, yo, we don't really fuck with you. We fuck with you for a time, but that's only because we kind of had to. And I remember years ago, the Apostle Ramla, he was talking like, yo, it's sweet now because they have no reason to bug out. But once they start to see certain things being taken away and they see the cause of it, especially in Jake, that's when Esau going to start to show his horns, and that's when he's going to start to show his true colors, which is red. Which is he's going to show his hatred, man. Because when he shows when you think about it, when the Lord said this is not your rest, and he talks about the daughter of Babylon. That's being the last part of our captivity. That damn sure is it's not your rest. Like, so you got Jake out here, they talk about generational wealth, they talk about doing this, that, and the third. But wait a minute, man. Don't you say that these devils is about to change the whole financial system too? On top of all that, this is all about design. And it's not a coincidence that when this shit was crumbling, how they had Jake face and having Jake voice being what's being seen. So these Edomites are looking at their TV, they're hearing the shits on the radio, and they see it on the internet, they see this nigga bitch, they see this nigga, and they all is like, yo, man, it's these niggas' fault. Because that's the fuck they seeing on the screen. That's what the idiot about to tell them, not knowing when it's just crumbling, period.
It's like it's fun with Dick and James.
Yeah.
Fucking, they put Jim Carrey in that position to be the face.
Yeah, be the face, take the blame.
But it was already something that was already planned before he even got to that position.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of these Jakes, they don't even realize what's going on.
Right.
They thinking they getting promoted.
You thinking too much on the surface of it. You got to really think about in depth of like what this country was founded on. This country was founded on the oppression and the tribulations of your people, and that's what they want to get it back to. Now, granted, we know that we know in the know through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Shah that they're not going to get back to that level completely, but that's their attempt. And that's all that matters. They're attempting to get back to that. They're attempting to get back to like, yo, y'all niggas fucking, you look down. You cross the street when you see a white person. You have a certain kind of respect when you see a white person. Just like, I don't know if y'all seen that video. I don't know if they were joking saying it was Scott Storch's wife, but some Edomite, it was in like somewhere nice when she's like, I'm rich, you're poor. It was her wife? It was the wife? Yes, Scott Storch's wife. So bitch was talking about saying you're a wetback. And what got that spirit of Esau riled up like that? This nigga, Nero. It's remember the Lord said nothing new under the sun, but you go ahead, read that.
Verse 12. So like verse 11 again says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death.
And that Lamb and that testimony is what of Yahweh Shah, which why Yahweh Shah the sheer importance of this knowledge of this doctrine is Yahweh Shah, because that's the only way you can overcome the devil and his beast and his system, and through your blood of Yahweh Shah, which we hope to be covered by, man. Because as days goes on, it's getting closer and closer. Like, yo, who's covered by his blood and who's not? Period. And it's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's no gray area. If you're not covered by Yahweh Shah's blood, you are done for. And what the Lord is doing right now to Egypt, America, to Babylon the Great, all that is he's bringing it down, man. And it's never going to get back up. What?
Oh yeah. I wanted to go back to the Scott Storch's wife, because in her apology, she said she can't be racist because she has, of course, she got Issachar friends and she used to date Issacharite. But that just goes to show you that no matter what relationship you have with Esau, they still at the end of the day feel some type of way about you. So she might have had an ex-boyfriend. She might actually have friends that are Issacharites. But that still doesn't mean that she doesn't think wickedness about them.
Word. What you was laying with an Issacharite, man, that's about it. You probably, it's not like you don't love Jake.
Slavery.
Yeah, you don't love Jake. Like, and it's better if you say you don't. And that's what Trump is slow. And you know, like we talk about when you said about the DEI, where it's like, yo, you know what you want to say, but you're not really saying it. Yo, go forth and say it, man. Go back to your way. Go back so these niggas can understand. But you know what? The Lord's gonna have him speaking those actions, how he feels through his. He's gonna have those feelings that they have that they don't necessarily bring out 100%. They're gonna bring it with the actions, man.
Well, that's a part of the serpent's nature, right? To be subtle.
Yeah.
The serpent, really, when you look at a serpent, it's not his power isn't the way that he gets prey. It's his ability to actually deceive, to be deceptive, to hide his actual intents.
Right.
Yeah, the strike. You'll have with Kadar, when he had this snake, he'll put a rat, a little mouse in the cake and tank with it, and the serpent wouldn't even do nothing for a minute. And then have the mouse all comfortable. The mouse will be crawling all on the snake, looking at the snake like, oh, he's not trying to eat me. Oh, I'm good here. And then as soon as the mouse least expected it, boom, strike. And that strike is a one-time strike because the serpent is very precise when it strikes, man. And that's what niggas didn't realize for the past 4 years. Remember, the reason why Trump was out in the first place is because his first 4 years of presidency, where you had all these niggas and these northern tribes talking about, oh, Trump Biden save us. The fact that you going down to Egypt for help regardless is detrimental to you. You're looking for your enemy to be your savior. The Lord created Esau for one particular reason, is to be the sword, man. And now you get tossed back and forth in this paradigm of the left and the right, the two horns like a lamb. But at the end of the day, this nigga speaks like a dragon. And he's about to show you just how snake-like he can be.
Where it said that beast, yo, think about it, when it said that beast with the hill joint, it said like he like because what's it the nature of it was the base of the first beast, but it wasn't like that. It was another one that came out of it. But it's like it got the same flow, it got the same like demeanor. You know what I'm saying? That's if this nigga possibly could be Nero, that means it's just the Lord had to come back, and it's the same instance of the time of the disciples, man. In the time of the siege of Jerusalem, it's the same thing. And what is he talking about? They were talking about these DTs, the whole like, oh, we got to get these like these H groups. But here it is, y'all the biggest age group on the earth is the supremacy of the so-called white man. Y'all the ones that everything y'all say y'all against it, y'all say that the other nations do, y'all be doing. But this is your kingdom, so you have the Hippocratic immunity in the sense, man. You could be a hypocrite because this is your kingdom. But at the end of the day, the Lord said, what? In your calamity, I shall laugh at you. And that's not starting with Jake. But that's going to trickle down to you, Edomite too, because America is done. America is going to be destroyed. And that's that's what motherfuckers got to understand. Continue.
Verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Being that's the New Testament, the last book of the New Testament. Why is it saying woe to the inhabitants of the earth? Now, everybody will agree that we're on the earth, right? If you look up the word woe, it basically means destruction. So why would the scripture say woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil shall come upon you with great wrath, because what? He know we have but a short time. What these devils, they rushing to do a lot of things. Yo, there's they're rushing to do a lot of things, like with the whole system, the crypto and the AI. There was a meeting, I believe it was Elam, it was like some Indian lady, and she was talking about some shit like the AI stuff. And then there was this guy from Congo. He would talk about the I know you be mentioning a lot the like the fourth industrial revolution. He would talk about that. He said without Congo, you can't have this. And I remember like, I remember Congo being mentioned with the whole Fed now and all that cryptocurrencies a couple years back. The Congo, and look what's happening in Congo right now. It's a whole lot of chaos. You see how that works? These devils have the chaos, but in the mix, they're gonna come in with the what? They're gonna have the solution, which is what? The beast system. And that's what the scriptures are talking about. And that's what he's about to bring out. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it.
Okay, that's it real quick. Yeah, bring that out real quick. You can start from like when it says concerning Judah. That's right, start the top.
Jeremiah 30:1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord saying, thus speaketh the Lord Yahweh of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book.
So that's the Lord saying to a man, because you know they say, book, the Bible was written by man. Well, any book was written by man. But it said what? It said telling Jeremiah to write these things in a book. Go ahead.
For lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it.
So the Lord actually starting with look, I'm going to take you out of this. I'm going to deliver you out of this. But first, it's going to get a little tricky for you. It's going to get a little rough. And right now, the Lord is bringing a roughness, man. The Lord is bringing, and he's bringing it to what? The northern tribes, man. Because some of you northern tribes actually thought you were actually white people. You actually thought you were closer to them than with us. But the scripture said that what? Judah and Jerusalem is oppressed together. No, Judah and Israel is oppressed together. So the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom, and we're both oppressed here. It's just in a different manner. But it's still the same affliction, the same oppression, it's still the same enemy. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah.
Concerning Israel and concerning Judah. And then Israel talk about you northern tribes, man. You so-called Latinos, Native Americans. They talk about you. Don't get it twisted, man. The devil knows who you are. Everyone knows who you are except for you. You the only one. Our people the only one don't acknowledge who they are, man. They try to walk away like, yo, it ain't no thing. Oh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. All right, you gonna find out. You fucked around, and now you're finding out that America wasn't your rest. You're finding out that Trump, these devils, didn't have your best interests at heart, and now you're starting to experience it, man. So nobody gonna feel sorry. It said, pray not for these people.
Isaiah 1 verse 3, the ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider.
It said the ox know of his owner, the ass is know his master's crib, but Israel don't know. Or can you read that part again? But the last part was about Israel.
It says, but Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider.
They doth not consider, because even in all of this, you don't see them northern tribes coming to bolo to the brothers that's on the highways and byways preaching the truth. Yeah, man, we need to come back, man. We need to what else could be the solution? And that's the thing. Now it's going to start being like, what is the solution for all of this? Their solution is Donald Trump, but what's our solution? Our solution it would be to come back to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh. But no, they still going to trust in the shadow of Egypt, because it's not that they wanted to leave, but now that Esau coming down with that great wrath, now it's like, yo, we got to hide out. Or now we can't go to work. Now we can't do this. Now we can't do that. But you're mad because you can't do that, but it's not like you're mad at Esau. You're just scared because you can't live all carelessly like you once were living. Now it's coming back to bite you in the ass, trusting in Egypt. But go ahead.
Verse 5, but thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear and not of peace.
Fear, a voice of trembling, fear, not of peace. A lot of our people, the so-called Latinos, they're not at peace right now, man. The Lord had Esau, yeah, it's good. You can live here illegally, undocumented and all that. But what happened? What's happening now? The Lord is putting the curtains on his place. So now Esau gonna put the curtains on you.
Oh, they was giving them those debit cards.
Yeah. You see, and now we're at the con part. Remember, we always say that what's the con behind it? That's the con. To get everybody all these Edomites riled up against you. And then now, look,
get Jake here.
Jake was riled up too.
Because a lot of them might not get deported. They be in these detention camps because Trump said they got the Guantanamo Bay.
They're gonna put them on.
So they got to put them in there, keep them there for a minute, and then they tell Trump. Remember Trump's first candidacy? He talked about the biometric exit entry visas. So Trump can have them in some of these detention camps, and then once that Karagma comes out, we're like, look, we'll let you out, but you need. We're not going to be tracking you off of a cell phone no more. We're gonna be tracking you off of this biometric entry exit visa. Yep. We gotta put this seed in you. Yeah. So a lot of them say, well, I don't want to go back to my country because it's carnage over there. It's a lot of hell over there. It's a lot of high prices, ain't no jobs. There's MS 13, all the gang shit. So they're like, you know what? If all you saying is I just gotta put this little size of a grain of rice inside of me to stay here, then yeah, I'll do that. Right. I'll put it in my child also.
It's part of the cause. Yeah, exactly. And it's part of the cause. It's part of remember, he said he calls them all, both small and great. Right now, they're getting the small people, the poor people. Jake. And then you'll get the other nations too, but then remember, the whole preference is Jake not to get it. See, the Lord don't care about the heathen. They can get all Karagma all they want. But the Lord said, yo, to his people, the judgment in Revelation 14th chapter, yeah, the other nations are part of that, but Jake is the one that's going to be the very, very the shit end of the stick, because you're able to get salvation. See, these other nations don't have a chance to get salvation. You have the chance. The doors of repentance are open to you. But through the Spirit, a lot of you people are not going to walk through that door, because why? You rather trust in Egypt. You rather trust in man, and that's going to be a detriment. Now you're starting to experience it. And if that logic with the brothers mentioned, if that's what they come to do, which is very plausible, you're fucking yourself again. Just to stay here for a country that's already going down? Come on, man. Just look at what's going on. You gotta actually step back, damn, is this the best place to be? That video, the brother posted with the white chick talking about how our healthcare and all our cost of living is all, and other countries is laughing at us. Mm-hmm. See, remember some of these northern tribes, they come here, but they still send the money to their country. So they would for instance, they would stay, let's say for instance, a family, a dude, but his family's in Ecuador or something. Right. So he'll be working here in America, reaping all that, citizenship and doing all of that, and sending his money to his country, and then ultimately go back to his country. But a lot of our people started coming here and getting comfortable here. That's where they fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But continue. Oh.
Yeah, and with the northern tribe, now you getting your niggas shit wake up call now. You know what I mean? Because now you see us when we out here teaching, you look at these signs. You see your tribe name or whatever on here, but you nah, I don't fuck with them. Them Ayate, them niggas, whatever. I'm not part of that. This, that, and the third.
But now you getting your wake up call now. So now that's the Lord, you know what I mean? Like putting that fear into you. Like, listen, you are a part of this. You are part of the curses, whether you like it or not. You are part of the 12 tribes of Israel. You know what I mean? So you let this devil, whatever, tell you what he want to tell you, whatever. You should have been believing it for so many years with the gangs and all that shit, whatever. You know what I mean? We live in the same fucking neighborhoods. We're poor and oppressed together. We live in these fucking rent-based neighborhoods. So you're trying to say, well, you're not like us? We're not like y'all, we're different because we speak Spanish? No. Now you're getting your wake-up call. And I'm glad the Lord is doing this because now the elect can start coming from these northern tribes. These men start waking up and start seeing that this devil is the devil. He's always been the devil. That rust has not came off him. He's going to be the devil to the very bitter end. Now you're going to see it.
And basically like, yo, man, we don't give a fuck. Like at the end of the day, the warning went out for years. Now the judgment is coming. So if you're talking about like, yo, they talk about pray for the people and pray for them, and they not gonna pray for Jake. Really.
Jake, dude said, y'all gotta stop talking about Jacob's trouble. Y'all manifesting.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yo, that's what old girl said. Yo, that's like, yo, we're not manifesting nothing. Remember, we're prophets. The prophets prophesied beforehand. Now you're just seeing the prophecies, man. You know who's manifesting it? But Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. That's who gets the glory. That's who's manifesting it. He said, I will bring these calamities upon you, man. It ain't just us always who are we to manifest it, man? We in it too.
But that's how they always treat the prophets, though.
Yeah.
They said what? If thou come and speak it,
prophets of doom,
speaker. For good or for evil.
Yeah.
Because that's what the signs of the prophets were, right? The prophet came just to tell you what the Lord said. Thus saith the Lord. So if the prophet didn't say something positive for you, that's why you had Ahab that hated Micah. He said, "Oh, he never prophesied anything good for me. He never speaking for my behalf." And when Micah said, "The only thing I can do is just say what the Lord says."
All right. So Lord ain't fucking with you. You want to say something too? You continue on that?
Verse 6.
Yeah.
Ask ye now and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness.
And symbolically, because when a man can't have a baby, no matter how much they try to say, well, all this bullshit, right? But that's talking about how like the hands on their loins and whatnot. Yo, that's happening right now. Yo, if you got somebody think about it. 5 weeks ago, Northern Tribe, they was happy to come out. They didn't have no worries. They didn't have no worries of being deported. Just like that, the Lord turned the switch like, oh, you was too comfortable. Oh, let me turn up this nigga real quick. And the Lord had put it in Trump's spirit in his mind to like, yo, oppress them. Or starting with the elites. But the elites, from the Lord to the elite, trickle down to these leaders. And they had what, yo? Have them tremble, put them in fear, make their life uneasy. They've been living too carelessly. They've been trusting too much in you. Now I'm gonna have you turn on them. But go ahead, see that?
Verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It's even the time of Jacob's trouble.
For that, alas, that day is great. This actually is a life-changing moment for America. Remember, they always had the deportation issues and all that, but since they're making it publicly, talking about it, that's how you know that this is all set up by design.
Well, Elon Musk and Donald Trump said that. Elon Musk said that this was the most important election in American history. The most important election for humanity. Why is Elon Musk saying that? And that's right before he gave that little that little salute.
Word. Hey, wasn't that anti-S? The brother mentioned that, like, yo, ain't that anti-S with the whole, you did that to so attributed to the Hitler and you was doing it in Germany?
Don't say it. You can't say his name.
Oh, you can't say his name? Yeah, they got like that. They get freaking like, damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. It can't even fucking put, yeah, anyway, you see how fucking gay as hell you is, man? Like, damn, can't even do something. Go ahead, bro.
But he shall be saved out of it.
But who's going to be saved out of it? The elect, the remnant, the one the Lord is pleased with. What did Ezra say? If I found favor in thy sight, who's going to find favor in that sight of the Lord's sight in that day? The elect. Lord, when we hope to be a part of, because what? The ones that's speaking out against his place, the ones that's, saying the right things, doing the right things, living the right way. You wasn't living right. That's why the Lord had the judgment coming to you, man. Whether it be a northern tribe or a southern tribe. I'm pretty sure they got some southern tribes wrapped up in there, some your quote unquote Haitians, Trinidadians, Barbadian, all that. Trinidad. So
You actually had a northern tribe, Jamaican. I'm not northern tribe.
Haitian.
There was a Jamaican person that got caught up in the whole immigration thing, but he was a citizen here.
Yeah.
But he had Caribbean ancestry, and they scooped him up as well.
Yeah. They scoop you now, ask questions later. Go ahead.
Verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Hey, that's the brightness of it, though. See, at the end of the day, when Jacob's trouble comes, that means what? The salvation shall come shortly after. Once Esau brings out the MOTB, once he really brings out that cruel wrath, that's to his demise. So that's why we need Trump, keep it going. Stick out your horns more. Get more cruel with it, man. Because no matter what, if you trust in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, the Lord said you should not be moved. Now, if the Lord has his way, you could be a martyr, whatever. That's the Lord's will, regardless. But at the end of the day, what's going to happen after that? You should have a crown of glory to come after. The dead in Yahushua shall rise first, but you have to steadfast and endure to the end. And right, by golly, we are very much at the end. Go ahead.
Verse 9. But they shall serve the Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them.
Hey, that goes into a lot. Yeah, the custom small hats. And where's their Jacob trouble? Remember, he said that they said that this was their Jacob trouble with the whole anti-S shit. But wait a minute though, you're going through Jacob trouble in Israel, the Holy Land. But the Lord said in the same chapter, He said, "Then I will put you back in the land, and then King David will be there." So where's King David at?
Trump just made signed an executive order protecting anybody from speaking out against the small hats.
Yeah, well, he was talking about the college protest shit. I think he even said that anybody that was in support of Gaza, some to that was in support of the Gaza shit. There
was pro Hamas.
Yeah,
they can get punished and deported.
Yeah, punished and deported too. So that goes, and that's. So you already see what time he on. You already see what time he on, man. He trying to clean house in a sense, man. But that's good. That's what he's supposed to do. Because why? That's what he's doing. Remember, this is the Lord's will. No matter what you think. You think, the Lord's will come back and he's going to... No, the Lord said when he come back, he's going to come back to a chaotic world. And he's going to put the order back. So now that Esau is doing all that shit, that means law and order is done away with, man. You see how they're bending the law, how they see fit? And now they're going to... And you got these other countries, these immigration, the country where they would get deported to, they tell me, yo, you better bring our people back in one piece, nigga. And they actually turning some of the whatchamacallits back, which is probably why they start doing this Guantanamo Bay shit. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord, neither be dismayed of Israel, for lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity, and Jacob shall return and shall be in rest.
So what the fuck? So how you smart in Israel and in America? Where is that taking place for you? It said that Jacob, starting with the remnant, the elect, will get saved out of their land, the land of their captivity. Where's the land of their captivity? It's not their holy land. They weren't in captivity in Israel. Make it make sense. That's about us over here. Where the bulk of Israel, the real Israelites are at. Getting delivered. Say, I will save thee from afar. We on the other side of the world from our land. And we gotta get saved from here and be brought back there. And that's when Yahushua going, King David, Yahushua, the elect, and then the seed of Israel shall be glorified and sanctified. And we'll never go down again after that. That's what we waiting for. But okay, continue that. Yep.
And be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
And none shall make him afraid. So ain't gonna be no more worries and no ICE, deportation. Esau gonna be the immigrant. He ain't gonna be an immigrant. He's gonna be the peasant. He's gonna be the servant. And this land right here, you know, as America, will be utterly wasted. That's why all these nations, they're ganging up against America. North Korea, Iran, Russia, China. Shit, Pakistan. Hell, probably eventually it's gonna be the EU countries. Cause he talk about tariff in the EU. That's not gonna run over well. That's not gonna. They're gonna take it like, oh yeah, that's cool. And there's already a bunch of
you say
bullshit mishap in there.
About the tariff on the BRICS nations too. Brother, article said that anybody that tries to de-dollarize, he's gonna tariff the hell out of them.
Yeah, and that was not too long ago. That was like a few days ago. So if that's the case, as this story unfolds, this shit ain't gonna go over well. You bring that out. There you go.
Isaiah, because we talking about the tariffs, right? Well, who did this fit? Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. And when you go into that word oppressor in the Hebrew, it's nagash, which means it says tyrannize, right? Harass. It says to exactor of tribute, raiser of taxes.
Oh shit.
Now, when you go into what a tariff is basically a tax. When you're taxing other countries, right? Instead of individual person getting taxed, you're taxing other countries in order for them to import their goods here to America for them to profit off of. So the oppressor, which is the king of Babylon, which America is Babylon the Great, the king, the rulers over America, or who? Esau, Edom, right? There, he's raising the taxes on these other nations in order for them to profit off of, having basically an economic, leveling up. And that's causing what? A lot of friction and tension between these countries, right? Because really, wars start, and I actually looked it up. Why do wars start? One of the main reasons why wars is because of a world war, because of economical tension. And that's what Trump is bringing to the world right now.
And it was actually already here if you think about it, but the way he's doing it, the tariffs, like he would talk about that before. The tariffs, remember, because the Lord said that when the merchants shall they shall lament, not lament, what is it in Revelation? It says, well, the reason why they have to kind of play ball a little bit in a sense is because they profit so much off of America. So that's America still kind of leverage on the world, but with the dollaration, what these nations are doing, they dollarize. They're going further from the dollar to where when they start to do business and commerce, America won't have that stronghold on them to do the business and profit that much. Because why? They're gonna have their own shit. So where America will have to kind of like play ball with them. That's why they're coming in with that one world order, that one world currency. So where all the transactions are controlled by one entity.
That's why Trump said that he wants to be the leader in crypto. Because with crypto, with the whole blockchain thing, you can have different countries now can do trading without using the dollar now. Because if China has their own crypto, central bank digital crypto, and then Russia has theirs, they can just use the blockchain platform in order to do trading. They don't got to do trading off of the SWIFT, which is owned by America, right? But that's why Trump came out and said, no, America is going to be the '1 leader in crypto.
Trying to get ahead of it.
Yep. That's why the Karagma, although you have these different countries that are moving toward using central bank digital currency, the Karagma is called the mark of the beast because it's going to be the beast system that is still going to be the top system that's going to try to force their way upon all the other nations.
That's why we know that America's the daughter of Babylon, because how the other nations got rich. See, the nations need America. They actually need America. That's why as America continues to implode, they're going to be getting closer to that digital system, because that's how they're imploding. Is all the de-dollaration talks, is all of the economic stuff, the economic woes, because it's always what? It's always about economics at the end of the day. World Economic Forum, World Health Organization, it's all one and the same. It's all about money. It's about who has the control over the money. Now, ultimately, the elites out of control, but what country do the elites run? Do they run their shit off of? Is America. And now America is coming to the point where, like, yo, we got to, like Trump said, we got to get ahead of the currency. And then it's always what? Get ahead of the AI shit, too. That's why he talk about billions of dollars in AI system centers. Somebody read something?
Yeah, a little bit more.
All right.
Verse 5. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepters of the rulers.
Hey, you see that's past tense, right? It said he has broken the staff of the wicked. So when it says something's broken, that's past tense, which means what? The staff of the wicked is what? America's power. America is like, it's basically that influence it once had. That's why it's every time it's always trying to play catch up. You're always trying to stay ahead because you no longer are the head guys on campus. You have other countries like Russia. You have countries like China. You have all these other countries that's getting ahead of the ball game ahead of you. Go ahead.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations is in anger is persecuted and none hinder it.
Hey, and that's what he's doing right now. The first part, you read that first part again where it says continual strokes, I think it said.
He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke.
And that's what he's doing to you northern tribes right now, man. What he said, Trump said that, yo, I'm not satisfied with the ICE numbers. We need to beef it up. We need more. And then you have these Edomites on the convoy talk about, yeah, about time, get to it. Yeah, get them all. Now, these are the same people that probably you go to work, they probably say, hey, what's up, Pablo? What's up, what's Jose? What's up, Miguel? But they're the same people that on the convoy talking all this shit against your people. Same exact people. That's what it said, the serpents.
Well, remember, even going with Jake too, remember Trump, we were talking about the whole mega Trump during his campaign, he said that the northern tribe is taking over the black jobs.
Yeah,
let's not forget that. So in his mind, there's a certain level, which we've been saying, right? There's a glass ceiling that you niggas can't go above.
Yeah.
And you thinking that with the whole DEI program that you're gonna be able to get a seat at the table. Trump came through and said, "No, I'm delete all that shit, Peggy." He deleted all that shit. Matter of fact, he even said that he put a pause on Black History Month.
Good. You know what? Yeah, good, because I'm sick of that shit anyway. And he also said, not he also said, but they said at Harvard University that whatever is involved in like the teaching of the slavery and all that, they cut that shit. They
race theory. They try to get rid of that shit.
Yeah,
too.
was it that?
Well, I know he said getting rid of that in education.
Yeah, but it was something actual Harvard University, specifically the actual department where they laid on the people that basically talk about black shit. So-called black people shit. So they go to show, yo, we ain't trying to hear, yo, fuck all of that. Yo, just continue, yo, the rap.
Yeah, because his new secretary, somebody, a reporter asked, will the administration be doing anything for Black history? And the chick said, we're going to be celebrating America's history.
Yep. Yeah.
So she did. So in that saying what? Oh, you're not, you Jakes are not getting any type of, even though we already knew that it was BS, but you're not getting any type of overt preference anymore. None of those things are happening. All of that is gone. All of those those steps that you've been thinking, that you've been taking to level up in America, it's all gone. It's all gone, man. And in order for you to even, and they're doing that, they're stripping all of these different benefits that you thought that you was going to receive so that you could be comfortable here. In order for you to get any of those things back, what do you want to have to do? You have to bow the knee to the image. Just like during the time of Nebuchadnezzar. When you hear that flute, that cornet, you got to bow the knee to that image, man. But the only ones that's not going to bow the knee are who? The elect. That Yahweh, the scripture says, what I have reserved 7,000 that shall not bow the knee to the image of Baal. But his devil's coming with that squeeze, that great rap. And a lot of our people, because you're not rooted in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because you have not got the testimony of the Lamb, because the blood of the Lamb is not covered, right, is not covering you. When this shit comes, right, when that consumption decree comes, you're gonna be taken through it, man. You're gonna be caught up right in it. And this is why we out here through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, making out calling an election sure and calling out to the elect to trust in the Lord, man. That's where it's going to be a defense. the name of the Lord is a strong tower. Because you're about to find out without this, without the Lord on your side, you're gonna be through, man. This the Lord, as it says in Ezekiel, quick scripture, Ezekiel 21, verse 9. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. So we've been telling you through the Spirit, the Lord's been telling you that this sword is being sharpened, man. It says that the wicked is the sword. Deliver me from the hand of deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. Esau, right? The one who the Lord put over you that has stroked you with a continual stroke. He's the sword. And the Lord said he's now making that sword sharpened. You done thought that the worst of times of oppression was behind you. You thought, oh, my ancestors went through the 60s. They went through affirmative action. They went through the civil rights. So I can now level up and I can have generational wealth. Now you about to go through the worst of it, man. It's about to be a time like never before, as the scripture says. Because not only does he have that wrath, right? Not only does he have the wrath, he also has the technology to go with that wrath now. And remember, during the 60s, you niggas, Jake wasn't really immersed in the actual economy, right? They try to do their own thing. The Black Wall Streets, right? Tulsa, Oklahoma, they try to do their own thing. Jake didn't really have a say in what was going on in the government. But now, because they gave you little goodies, they gave you positions in executive, branches, because they allowed you to vote. And as we said, they put your face out there when everything's crumbling. Now they can point the finger and say, no, you're the problem. We didn't have these problems when you niggas were desegregated. We didn't have these problems when y'all was in the sundown town. Right? Y'all couldn't come into the sundown town. We didn't have these problems. We were living good. We had the little house on the prairie. We had the Leave It to Beavers. But Esau don't got that now. Right? They over here dealing with the fentanyl, right? The opioid. And they're saying that Northern Tribe is bringing all the drugs in.
But who's allowing the Northern Tribe to bring it here? Who still runs the government, as the brother just said? Who runs the fucking country? Who runs what comes in here, man? If you're talking about the Border Patrol and all that, who's bringing the drugs in? Is it Southern? Is it Tyrone? Yeah, but who's allowing the cartel to come in here? Snowfall, the movie Snowfall, the show Snowfall showed you the government is behind this shit. Snowfall, The Wire. Who else? All these they all intertwined with the corrupt. Remember this is a corrupt nation, man. This is the sinful kingdom. This kingdom was built on evil. This kingdom was built on wickedness. And the brother just said that how the golden city ceased. The oppressor. Who they been oppressing? Who does the Lord care about in the scripture when it talks about oppression? It talks about the Israelites. Jacob's trouble. A time like the other for you. But also you gotta think about it too. The Lord he's a merciful God, he's a loving God. He said, I shall deliver you, and you will not have to serve slavery after this. But how you get into the kingdom, that's the trial run right here. See, we don't want to get there through the Lord's wrath. We don't get there through the Lord's mercy and his salvation. That's why we up here. That's why we out here doing this all the time, man. To the best of our ability, trying to live a righteous life. Because at the end of the day, the Lord said, well, he hates wickedness. He's angry with the wicked all day. Why do you want to commit those kind of activities that the Lord hates?
A little bit more on this. Okay, go first. Verse 10. So like in verse 11. And he hath given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. The sword is sharpened, and it is furbished to give to give it into the hand of the slayer. So the Lord's putting this, he's sharpening this sword, right, for a sword slaughter. And then he's about to give it into the hand of the slayer. Who's the slayer? The slayer, Esau. Hey, Trump, during the inauguration, he was dancing with a sword, man. He was doing a little dance with the sword. Because who was blessed with the sword?
Blessed, I'm about to say, blessed with the sword.
He said he shall live by the sword. So, hey, the Lord is showing you, making it plain who's who in this movie, man. You got guys like Vocab saying Esau's done away with. Oh, they. Nah. We living live and direct in Esau's kingdom, man. But see, the devil would say that.
You're very proof that Esau's not done away with. You are Edomite. And it wouldn't be, it wasn't said the greatest trick of the devil report was convincing the world he didn't exist. That's why they don't talk about Esau. They talk about Abraham, they talk about everybody else.
Oh yeah. Man, Yahoo said that the Palestinians were Amalek.
Yeah, we enjoy to see that Amalek. Yeah. And that's all for entertainment, because at the end of the day, we know that y'all Amalek. See, the thing about it is them rats, I don't know about how BB is, how much in life he's inherited, but those rats, those look like they was young. They probably actually think those are the Amalekites. And they probably think that they are the Israelites. Or the children of Jacob, I should say, because they don't call themselves Israelites. But they think that they're the seed of Jacob. They think that their salvation is coming. But what the hell, where was your oppression at then? And you can't, I'm talking about take the costs away, take all this anti-ethnic, ain't nobody really doing shit to you. We're not talking about words. We're talking about motherfuckers like, yo, you ain't safe to walk out in the streets, nigga.
You're not being oppressed nationally.
And you ain't
Like
being
by a nation.
You're not.
You can say, oh, somebody threw a Molotov cocktail at a little temple, whatever. But that's an individual oppression. In order to actually have an oppression, in order to be to have institutionalized racism put on you, that got to be a broad thing, man. It got to be something that a nation is doing upon another nation. The Lord said that your nation is going to go into captivity, that your nation is going to be brought low. Our people, and generally speaking, are a nation of people that are brought low. We don't give a damn about the Jay-Z's of the world, because look what they had to do to get to there. But when you think about the so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you don't think about power. You don't think about sovereignty. You don't think about economic wealth.
You think about a lowly nation, a nation at the bottom, man. But go back to Jeremiah, John. Because the Lord said that until Yahushua comes back, till the deliverer, savior comes back, it's going to be an incurable wound. Like you can't flee the curses. It's not going to be ever easy. Like you might have a day like, yo, your day wasn't that bad, but at the end of the day, you still have some kind of worry. You still have some kind of responsibility under oppression. You always going to have that here in America. Even these rich niggas, you still got to worry about scandals coming out. You got to worry about people robbing you out of your money. You still have a worry. See, in our kingdom, in the kingdom of the righteous kingdom of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, ain't gonna be no worries. Ain't gonna be no problems. Instead, we should leave upon a bed singing. Ain't no Jake singing, leaving upon their bed. They singing sorrow. But go back to where that's off. Now go back to the go back to verse 12. Yeah.
Jeremiah 30:12. Well, thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous.
Mm-hmm. That wound is grievous. That's a grievous wound. So we're like, yo, it was all good just a week ago, and now you got to worry about being deported. Think about that, like just like that quick. Remember, he said, what? The devil knows if you have but a short time. So in that short time, who do you think misery loves company, right? Who is he going to come at the most? Who has he been coming at the most? Israel, the Jakes. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. From the very jump, the Lord said a perpetual hatred. Perpetual means permanent. It means it's a permanent hatred. That's what Esau, the so-called white man, has against the so-called minorities. You Hispanics, Native Americans, and you Negroes. He'll never like you. He dealt with you for a time because he ain't had no issues regarding his shit. But now he's starting to get affected more, and he's saying you niggas come up. And you know the time I getting like the debit cards and all of the snaps and all that. Why did he talk about all that government spending, cutting the government spending, all that assistance, all that? They talk about getting rid of all of that. Medicare, Medicaid, WIC. It's all targeted. And who's mostly under that? Jake. Go ahead.
Verse 13. There is none to plead thy cause, and thou mightest be bound up.
And there's not, my bad. It's none to plead if thy cause, man. You don't have nobody sticking up for you, man. Where is the Palestinians at that y'all was sticking up for? Talk about free Palestine. Oh, stand with Ukraine. Where the Ukrainians at? Where the Palestinians for the northern tribes? Saying don't deport them. Don't do that. Hey, you had the northern tribes, Hispanics. Y'all talk about stand with Palestine. Oh, free Palestine, free Gaza, all that. But where's the world when it comes for you? Get the soil you want. You would talk, you was American, because you got the whole thing, you got visas and all that. But where's the people for you? He said, there's nobody. Go ahead. Continue.
Thou hast no healing medicines.
Yeah. Go
Verse
ahead.
14. All thy lovers have forgotten thee.
Mhm.
They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy,
Mhm.
with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased.
Oh, I said all the lovers have forgotten thee, man. All the people you got buddy with are the other nations, especially Esau. You trusting in Egypt, going to Egypt for help. Now it's like, yo, they don't give a fuck about it. Now it's like, yo, where all that go? What happened to all? They use all nice and, you know, them northern try to be all like, oh, massa, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, sir, yeah, this, that, third. To be all kissing Esau's ass, kissing Trump's ass, thinking he's going to be the one to make it different. Thinking he's going to come along to the party while making America great again with them, being great for them. No, he's making it great for his people. This is their kingdom. This is not your kingdom. Just like in our kingdom, they ain't gonna have no greatness. They ain't gonna have no part. They ain't gonna have no seat at the table. So why do you think you gonna get it in there? See, they don't understand about dominion. People don't understand that rulership. They don't think there's actually certain people ruling. So they think that the earth is just how it is right now. They don't think that nobody's actually ruling. But you have people that's calling the shots, that's making these laws.
Hey, Klaus Schwab said it at the World Economic Forum. He said that the world, the future, is going to be shaped by the people that's in this room.
So that's the World Economic Forum. And remember, no, that was about the WHO. No, my bad. Go ahead, though.
Verse 15. Why criest thou for thine affliction?
Uh-huh.
Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thy iniquity, because thy sins were increased.
And that's a scripture I read a lot to, like, when you need a humbling moment. When you hear and you feel like, damn, like shit just shit fucked up. It's like this, that, and the third. But it said, why cries out for thine affliction? Read that again.
Verse 15. Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity.
Thy sorrow is incurable for what the multitude of thine iniquity, man. You got our people, starting with the northern tribes that they heavily target right now, Jesus Cristo, Santa Maria, all them idols, trusting in Esau, trusting in America, thinking America was a kingdom for them, thinking that everything would be okay if they came here. Definitely hating southern tribes. They thought that they thought it was gonna be all good. They've been marinated here for a minute because you had like 3 or 4 generations here now. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of northern tribes that came over here, whether they were documented or not, that's here chilling and they were living an American life. But the Lord is what? Having Esau pull the rug from underneath their feet. And now you start to understand, like, yo, you see what time it is now. You see how the devil really feels about you. What?
I have done these things unto thee. Verse 16. Therefore, all that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity.
So that's the bright side of the story. But if you read that previous verse again, real quick, read that again. Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
Why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee.
Yeah, that's right. He said, I have done these things unto thee. So when you talk about why is this happening, how could this be? The Lord said, I have done these things unto thee. But here it is, that's why the Lord said, but they have not known me. But he's the one saying, yeah, I've done these things unto thee. I put Esau on your neck. Remember, the Lord said, what? I control the heart of the king, and turn it whithersoever he will. So the Lord having Trump do this, the Lord having Putin do this, the Lord having the elites do this, the Lord having to do that. The Lord having a certain vibration, the minds of Esau really riled up against Jake. He's putting that perpetual hatred back in their inward parts wholeheartedly, man. That's why you had Scott Storch's wife doing that little rant she did. And it's going to be, it's a tall tale on I think that has going to be until Yahushua comes back. He's going to be a little more ignorant, a little more I can't think of the word, but he's going to be just a little more just worse towards treatment for you. But the Lord said, all that devour these shall be devoured. So what? That's still to their end. And you don't see none of these other nations coming to Jake's aid either. I don't see no Elamites. I don't see the East Indians, so-called Chinese. I don't see, it said no one shall plead their cause. They're all for the beast. They're all for Esau. They're all for Jacob still being at the bottom. So they're not going to come to your aid. It said no man shall buy you in Deuteronomy 28 and 68. No man's gonna come and save you. No man is gonna plead your cause. No nation's gonna come and say, yo, we stand with them. No matter how much you stand with these nations.
Good. Verse 16, therefore all thy that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity.
So all you nations, starting with you Edomites, so Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, all you devils, y'all going into slavery, man. That's what y'all forgot. See, they didn't consider the latter end of it. See, they thought that, oh, just because they still in power, they're gonna be in power forever. But that's the same thing Pharaoh thought. That's the same thing the probably the Persians thought. That's the same thing the Egyptians thought. Well, Egyptians are the pharaohs. That's the same thing what the Babylonians thought. Everybody thought they was going to be ruling forever. Then nobody thought they was going to be taking off their game. But now y'all seeing that the shit is about to shift. And as you continue to come more at us, that's when the Lord's going to protect us more and more. Because eventually you're going to come for the prophets. And that's going to be to your, you're going to really start feeling yourself. And you're going to think, we should just go after these niggas now. Thinking that we're just some other niggas off the streets. No, if the ones in the name of Yahweh Bashim El-Shai that trust in those names, once you come for them, it's curtains for you, man. Point blank, period. But read that now. Oh, yeah, you read that. I just read something. Yeah.
Isaiah 47, verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, but thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Sit in the dust. There is no throne. You have no more. It's no more rulership. Like, you don't have centuries of this. Because if you did, like, you think about it. Why else are you trying to rid the land of a certain people? Why else are you trying to get a certain fix a hole on the financial system? Because why? You feeling like you're weakened. You feel like your shit is threatened.
What's the point of if the American dollar and the system that you had previously was like, so great, right? There will be no need for the blockchain system. There will be no need for that if what you had was so great. But not realizing with that whole blockchain system that in order for that to get up and running, and ultimately the reason why they really want to do that is because they actually want to be like the Most High. They want to be able to control every single aspect of humanity. Because in their minds, if they can control every single aspect of humanity, then the small remnant they're going to have to fold and get in line, and therefore there will be no flesh to be saved when Yahweh Shai returns. They're trying to stop the return of Yahweh Shai.
But you can't, and you won't. And it's funny, but that also, I seen something where they saw about like Esau got they having some kind of technology to where like you could basically customize your newborn baby.
Gene editing.
Yeah. So crazy shit. Hold on, I got it real quick. Hold on, let me see. I took a picture of this shit. It says lab-grown sperm. It says eggs may soon allow parents to customize their future children.
Yeah, look where we at, man. Like, come on.
Lab-grown semen. Sperm.
This devil has the pride has reached into the heights of the. We shall be like the Most High.
That's plain.
You can't even actually still at this moment break down how a baby is created in the womb from sperm. The scientifics of the actual growth of the bones and the cells and all that. He sort of can't even break down that, but yet he over here trying to change sperm. Because what does he also ultimately want to do? He wants to take the seed of Jacob off the earth. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to take the seed of Jacob off the earth.
Right. Yeah, because it says lab-grown sperm and eggs may soon allow parents to customize their future children. So, like, and it's funny that you said that they can't say how the baby's born because, like, yo, it's a manifestation thing. It just happens. It's called, well, that's why they say life. The Lord said, what? I took you out the womb, blood, and all that, and said live. So when a baby is born, when the process of what's that called, consummation, when that happens, you can't replicate that.
Yeah,
you're trying to.
My bad. They said there's at the moment of conception, there's a bright flash inside of the egg.
Right.
So what's that? What is this bright flash that happens from inside of the egg? Why when you die, your body actually weight actually decreases certain amount of grams?
It's cold.
Why does that happen? Because as it says in Ecclesiasticus, No man has power to what? To retain the spirit, man. You don't have power to retain the spirit. That's what you ultimately want. That's why Elon's talking about we want to be able to extend the consciousness. They want to get power over the actual spirit of a man.
They said that they're just a being, like something about being and like the natural like element of life. Like they want to somehow be able to control all that shit. They want to be fucking like the fucking witch doctors, man. But you still haven't. No one has. Everyone still just dies.
And that's why they tapping in heavy into the left side. That's why they trying to open up portals with the Pope. That's why they restarted CERN. That's why they doing all of these. This is the vibe of the earth has just been mad. Where you got airplanes crashing, all of these things happening. It's probably a lot of rituals and sacrifices that these devils are doing, man.
Word. If it's another plane crash within the next couple of days, definitely something up. Somebody was even saying that. It says, are they trying to get people to stop from flying? Because if it happens enough, I remember I had a dream about that ship just crashing and shit, like out the sky and buses crashing, blowing up. You think about it. If you have like more of this happening, it's starting to be a safety issue. Like actually, like it's not just like freak accidents. It's like safety issues. Cause remember, in the air, it's like it's air traffic. If you have it to where like people are not secure feeling flying, that's a major way of travel. Like especially far travel. What can that also tie into? A manship desire to go into a city. Because if you can't travel through a plane, imagine like, because they said when that first accident happened, they suspended all flights. So that means that people that's about to go somewhere, you couldn't go. So imagine this happens on a frequent basis. See? What? Yeah.
Verse 2, take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
Right.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen.
And that's all part of you being exposed now. So now everybody knows who you are, especially the ones in the know. Everybody knows who's on top now. Everybody knows that the central banking families are the ones controlling the shots. Everyone knows the Esau trying to do. Look like sperm, lab-grown sperm and eggs. You trying to, what'd you say, Elon Musk or something conscious of the consciousness? Then Jeff Bezos, wasn't he trying to do some shit with some vitality? Trying to preserve life?
He was a donor, basically, not a donor, but he's basically funding a business that is trying to make a pill that will be able to expand your lifespan, right? Extend your lifespan.
So if you so that go to show
he's dropping they dropping billions of dollars on these things.
And that goes to show how you don't care about the Lord's will, because the Lord said, I have the issues of life and death. You can't retain the spirit, period. No one has ever done it yet. No one's ever died and then came back to life except one person. But under whose power did he do that? The Heavenly Father. No man has the power to retain the spirit of another man or woman or whatever. No other being with a spirit. Everything got a spirit, really. But what?
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance. I will not meet thee as a man.
And this is happening every day. Your shame being seen, man. As much as you're going to keep supporting Amalek, as much as you're going to keep talking about tariff and everybody, as much as you're going to keep talking about, if you do this, $3, you also, who the fuck you think you is, man? You talking big shit for a country that's not as what they once were. You should have been talking like this years ago. This is how you should have been talking about hundreds of years ago. But you talk about this at your end because what? That's your pride. The Lord said, in your pride, I shall bring thee down. So now y'all getting more and more prideful at your downfall. And the Lord steadily just bringing you down. And eventually you're going to be done finito. What?
Verse 4, as for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel.
For our Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, who is he redeeming? Who is he delivering? The nation of Israel, starting with the elect. But he said, I will not meet thee as a man. O daughter of Babylon, you other nations that live deliciously off the daughter of Babylon. The Lord said he's going to meet you in all his godly glory from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. He's coming back to do that. And you're going to know that. You're going to know that you didn't have no God. And then all you worship was idols made with your own hands. What?
Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
Yeah, sit down with silence. You still talking right now, but watch when the Lord really shut your mouth. Watch when the Lord really shut you down. Watch when you really go out of business, like the corporation going out of business that you are. Look around, all these businesses going out of business. The Lord closing America down, and it's never going to be what it once was. That's why He said, "Sit down in the dust, for there is no throne. You have no throne no more." Trump is just giving you. Trump is giving you just that false hope. But at the end of the day, you still got to deal with your everyday life and still see this shit crumbling. That's why old boy was talking like that. Boy, like he was about to have a panic attack, shaking and shit. What?
For thou shalt no more be called the lady of kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance.
Word, he said he was wroth with his people. And how did he pollute his inheritance? Look who's over in Israel now. For one, look, like he's still allowing you to have your foot on our necks, man. He's still allowing you to smite us. Because he said what? He was wroth with us. So that's why this is happening. But the Lord said what? Surely in my, I think he said, I'm roughly paraphrasing, but he said, surely in my anger, but then I will be merciful to you. So basically, going to flip the script. In my anger, I chastise you, but in my same love for you, I'm going to redeem you. Go ahead.
I was wroth with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand.
Given thee into thine hand. Oh, the chattel slavery, the Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, all the other empires you heathen, but mainly the daughter of Babylon, talk about right here in America, which is the worst of them all. The worst of them all. Go ahead.
Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Oh, he showed them no mercy. What's up? I'm sorry, read that again.
I was wrong with my people. I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thy hand. Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke.
Word. So he said, I've given them into thy hand. Who was he talking about? Talk about the daughter of Babylon, the Great. Who is that? America. Ran by who? Esau, Edom. For Esau at the end of the world, Jacob's beginning of it that followeth. The Lord said, I gave them into thine hand, man. So the Lord did it. So that's the answer why people want to be like, why is this happening? Why are we going to, what's going on? Why are we still going through this madness?
And Jeremiah, you read before, it said that I had laid a wound as a wound of an enemy.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But how did the Lord do that? He did it by what? Giving you into the hand of your enemy. See, that's why it says in Deuteronomy 28 that what? That you're going to be, your enemies are going to be put up above you.
Highly.
They're not, what you don't understand, yeah, you do have the spiritual demon Satan, but in 2 Thessalonians it tells you, then shall that wicked be revealed, whose coming is after the working of Satan, man. Mm. There is a physical counterpart, a vessel on the earth, right? Or vessels on the earth that are doing the bidding of Satan, doing the bidding of the evil, of the wicked one. And those are in that mindset, their mindset is to always be adverse to you. When you read in the book of Sirach, it tells you that good is set against the evil and the godly against the sinner. Who is the man of sin? That is why you read it here, it said you showed him no mercy. Would the man of sin, would the wicked show you any mercy? But instead of taking the heed of why he's not showing you no mercy, instead of realizing that, okay, that this is happening for a reason, I got to call upon my power to receive deliverance, you got our people going into the enemy and asking the enemy to show you mercy. You going into the enemy and asking the enemy, yo, how can we make amends? How can you stop a persecuting me?
How can we get a seat at the table?
How can we get a seat at the table? The enemy is saying, nah, we want you destroyed.
Word. You ain't no getting no seat here, man.
That's why it says, my bad. That's why it says to never trust thine enemy. As his wicked, as an iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. It's only going to get worse. You never seen iron that rust just all of a sudden start to just be made whole again. Iron rust and it gets worse and worse and worse.
It's like, and first off, let's talk logic. Here it is. You got all these other nations that got a seat at the table for Esau, and in a sense, right? If anybody should have a place at the table, it would have been Jake. Jake was here first. Jake built the shit. Jake would but you're not dealing with a logical ruler. You're not dealing with a righteous ruler. You're dealing with the actual son of perdition. You're dealing with the seed of the wicked. And you gotta remember how this story started. The story started with Esau trying to be doing some corruption, man. Even though after he did the dumb shit he did, but he still tried to be a conniving snake. He tried to get the birthright back. He went actually with the eyes like nothing happened.
When you look at how America was founded, who we learned about in school, Charles Darwin, right? Everybody learned about something about Charles Darwin. Do you not realize that the actual in philosophy that Charles Darwin was coming with was eugenics, was actually something to put you niggas in a position that you are by birth, by nature, are just lower than everybody else, lower than the Edomite. They said that your heads were smaller, so your brains were smaller. So therefore, your intellectual, level can never reach the height of an Edomite. But here we are. We're in your educational system, which was funded by the Rockefellers, by the way. They're telling you, Charles Darwin was a great man. They tell you that Andrew Hamilton, right? Or no, Andrew Jackson, he was against the elites. He was fighting, for the people. But this nigga, he hated the northern tribes. He was known for slaying the Gadites, man. Oh, Christopher Columbus. He was known for slaying Jake, the northern tribes over here. So all of the people that Esau esteemed as being great, as being somebody that you need to look toward as being a high level pinnacle of humanity, they hated you.
Which go to show that who they align. That's who they agree with. Two cannot walk together unless they be agreed. Why do you think they puff up these motherfuckers, man? But don't worry. See, they're meeting their end. But you gotta understand why. See, the thing about why, like our people, they gotta understand why you're going through this. That's why we're here. It's not just random. It's not like they just pick you out of a hat and like, yo, yeah, let's go get them. Let's go get them. No, it was all about design. It was manifest destiny, as Columbus said. Manifest destiny. But where's the later part? Where's the ending? See, they forgot about the ending part. That's why the Lord even said, brother gonna read it. He said they consider not the latter end of it. But go ahead, go back. Like when he said, I'm not saying. Yeah.
Isaiah 47, verse 7. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things into thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it.
So they think, so in America, being that's what we talk about when we talk about the daughter of Babylon. See, they think that it's not going to go down. They think that they're going to be around forever. Psalms 49 and 11. They actually think that, no matter how bad it gets, we'll always exist. But no. There was a guy, I forget the guy's name, but he would talk about, it was like a couple years ago, he said that basically every empire had a rise and a fall. Oh, he said a rise and a decline. And he said America is now at its decline. This is an Edomite, a so-called white man, saying that America is at its decline. And it's not when a nation, a kingdom starts to decline, it never goes back up. It never goes back up. America's never going to go back to how it was in the 1800s, in the times of Andrew Jackson, in the times of Thomas Jefferson, in the times of Abraham Lincoln, and all those presidents before. This right here, Trump is about to bring all them niggas back, but it's going to be a short-lived span. He's going to bring out all that animosity, all that perpetual hatred. He's going to bring all that out in a short amount of time. Revelation 12 and 12. See?
Therefore, hear now this: thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thy heart, I am, and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Because that's when they be talking about because it hasn't yet. America has never been attacked physically on this soil. Now, right now, can you read that again, bro?
Therefore, hear now this: thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly.
You giving the pleasures and you dwell carelessly, man. And that's how you know the Charles is acting, man. You were dwelling carelessly here. You thought that it was all good. And you know, like, even though Esau ain't shit for all that the rules and regulations for all that deportation shit, but it's going to a way, no, you knew if you were a legal immigrant or not. And you had to know eventually that it was going to come back on you.
Well, they wouldn't, because Biden told them they wasn't.
No.
They trust in there. They trust in never trust thine enemy. They trusting in the shadow of Egypt.
But the underlying point is, it was never just like you here chilling in society. Like, even though Biden said that, but you see how people felt about it. You seen the backlash that it got. You see how that's how actually Saint's house got divided more and more in America. How's he doing this? Why the fuck? And he did all that in his last few minutes in office at that. Like last few months. Well, actually, the whole thing with the cars, that was like last year. But still, it was the tail end of his tenure. Go ahead.
But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day: the loss of children and widowhood.
So when you think you got all these immigrants out, illegal immigrants out, once you get yourself, I'm talking about the elites, I'm talking about you higher up, not the regular Edomites. Once you get all this whole system in order, once you think you got it all, everything hooked and ready, once that comes, you will experience this. Go ahead.
The loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection for the multitude of thy sorceries.
Because it's comparing this place to a female, a woman. And a woman lose a child, man. Well, a real woman, when she loses her child, that's a sad moment. Widowhood, you lost your husband. And think about that. A woman, a true woman, wife, lose her husband and lose her children. And so you experience all that. And what's it, one day said?
Yeah, a moment in one day.
One woman, one day. You won't experience all of that. And that's them. And that's those. We gonna talk about they talk about the labor pains. Of like, you know, like the how you say it, the events that's happening. Even though like it be sometimes where like you got Esau to be like, yo, you know what? Yeah, that was good. See, like Trump is a guy to keep that false sense of security up. But in the meantime, there's other things still happening. For instance, I'm pretty sure some Trump supporters in that plane in Virginia, he real nonchalant about it. They asked him, are you going to visit any of the families of the people that died in the accident? Yeah, maybe some. Huh?
Hey, what you want me to swim?
Yeah. No, that was a that one. Yeah, that was swimming. That was over the water. Yep, that one. Yep. Because the other one that just happened, what that yesterday just happened? He did. He said, yo, I don't know what you want to do. And you can see the proudness. You can see the haughtiness in this motherfucker, man. And that's what these bring into these. That's how they're making all these other Edomites feel. Remember, he's their face. He's their poster child of how they feel and how they want the narrative to go. This is how they want Esau to be. Bringing out those horns from the least to the greatest to the least. This is all set up by design. This is the Heavenly Father's movie. He said, I will have the devil come upon you with great wrath. He controlling both sides. Our God, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord of hosts is his name. Go ahead.
And for the great abundance of thine enchantments.
The great abundance of thine enchantments, man. I mean, damn, you talk lab-grown sperm and eggs, man. That shit threw me. I never seen that verbiage where it says you could customize your future children. What is this, NBA 2K2? I said 2K2. Is it NBA 2K?
That's what they were talking about. Humans are now hackable.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
If you could customize somebody's the Lord said he created man from the dust. That's what the scripture says. Esau saying, oh, I can create you from a lab.
Yeah. GMOs. It's like what they're doing is that they're trying, like, that's why they call it what AI. It's artificial. At the end of the day, everything you're doing that's trying to be like the Most High, it's still just going to be artificial, and it's always going to be flawed. See, it's no flaw with the Heavenly Father how he set up. He said he created this, he created that. I seen that it was right. I created it, and there it came to pass. I declared it as right. Go ahead.
Well, thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee.
So it said, you trusted in your wickedness, and it what?
Thou hast said, none seeth me.
Thou said, none seeth me, man. All them secret meetings. Remember we talked about before a little ways back when Trump and Biden met up, and then after that, I believe right after that meeting, Trump and them had privately. That's when Biden said to Ukraine that you can use those weapons that they said that you couldn't use when they first gave them to you. And then all this stuff started happening. The war got intensified, and then he started doing the whole thing with letting the migrants in. So you think about it, that's why the Lord said, measure the time diligently. Look at what's happening, and look at when it's happening. Oh, this whole World War thing, you think about it. In the course of 106 years, you've had 3 World Wars. Now that we're at the 3rd World War already. The First World War, 1919. Second War was in the 40s. And now 2020, you have World War III. That's why the Lord said the prosperity of the wicked is short. And now you about to get your system, the technology as at your highest level, but that's when you go down. So that's why you have to consider, make your digital currency, make your crypto, make your AI. As more artificial you get, the more it's going to be, your downfall is real.
It's really good, yeah, because the AI is moving at exponential rates.
Yeah.
Right? None of the other industrial revolutions moved this fast. They all lasted, a few hundred years, like 100 years or so. But the AI, the 4th industrial, what they call it, the intelligent age, that shit is moving at a hyper level speed, man. You think about just cell phones. When we first got cell phones, first one I had was the Nokia.
Me too.
Right? You was playing the snake game on there. There was no pictures. You couldn't send a picture, right? You couldn't go. It wasn't a smartphone. And I had that back in what was that? I was 14, so it was like 21 years ago. 21 years ago, which is make sure what 2004. You think about just a phone from 2004 to now. You think about a TV. Back you had the flat screens, but there was like the big joints. Now you got TVs that are thin as hell. Computers. America Online, AOL. Now look how fast the internet is, man. And this all happened within a 25 year span. Quick things are the actual cars. I remember growing up, they were talking about you was going to have cars that could drive themselves. You would think it's somewhere mad far in the future. You got Teslas now. But that's how so if the technology, the AI and all those things are speeding quicker, are compounding in a speed of intelligence, then that's just only going to hyperdrive Esau coming into that digital system. See? And him coming into that digital system, that's not a system to where you can, pick and choose or decide whether or not you want to be in it. It's a system. It's like a train. You got to hop on this train, but the train not going to stop moving. You just got to jump on it. And a lot of people, because of how society is moving, they're going to think, I don't want to be left behind. So let me just hop on this train, and wherever it goes, I'm with everybody else. The scripture tells you, follow not a multitude to do evil. But that's what Esau is moving. Quickly, everybody to do evil, but he's packaging it as if it's beneficial for you. And you're not even going to have enough time to even really consider what is really going on. But that's why the Lord had the prophets out from the beginning to let you know, hey, this Quran, this thing right here, once this thing come out, don't take it.
Yep. Continuing that, I'm going to this article he's done in something more verses in there.
Verse 11, therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come up upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know.
That's right. So as time goes on, and you thinking you're going to get to your highest plateau, your technology, you're going to engraft it in the technical, you're going to engraft it in the financial world, the medical world, and all retail world, and all that identification. But it says that in the meantime, all this, you're still trying to do that. But in the meantime, you're still going down. It said you're not going to know where it's coming from. It said mischief. And remember, the Lord said, you deserve it. And what's the main thing? Why are you deserving this? Why are you getting this? Why are you getting this ass whooping the Lord about to give you, Esau? Because what? You're afflicting to my people. What you did to the children of Israel. What?
Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorcery, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail.
And the Lord is being funny because he's saying stand now with thy enchantments, but this as your enchantments are working less. That's what he's stand with them and see if they basically deliver your ass.
Hey, well, that's why they're doing the opening portals.
Yeah. So see what? So stand with thy enchantments, and that's what they're doing. They have no choice. They're not spiritual. So they have to deal. They have to deal with everything that they've all been building up, this technology and all this shit. And that's why the Lord said, "What? You'll stand down with that shit." And said, "What?"
And with the multitude of thy sorceries, when thou hast labor from thy youth, if so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail.
And that sorcery is since thy youth. Shit, man, you won't go back to the beginning, but since thy youth, you've been rulership. You've been in the same. You've been the same way your whole existence, literally. A lion snake.
That the founding fathers were all Masons.
Yeah, lion snakes. That's all. You've been nothing but scumbags your entire existence, man. That's what the Lord says at the time of your youth, and now you're coming to your age to where like you're coming to a level where you think, yo, no one can stop us. Like Gold said, nobody can stop it. Esau, that's how you feeling right now. You gonna be feeling yourself, but that's why the Lord said, what? In your pride, I shall bring thee down. In your pride. So that's why, yo, feel froggy. Continue how you doing it, man. You're doing a bang up job.
Hey, the when you look at the architecture of DC, it's created right. Certain buildings, high points. The whole architecture of DC looks like an owl. A lot of hey, Biden, he just got elevated by some jakes to a 33rd degree Mason, man. Right after he's done in his presidency, there was a photo op of him getting his 33 degree masonry. They say that all presidents are in the Masonry club, man. What's going over in Hollywood, right? All that is witchcraft. They got an actual entry level arc of a Babylonian arc to go into Hollywood. So this whole setup, Esau's whole system, what do you think on the back of the dollar bill? Why do you got a pyramid with an all-seeing eye? All these things goes back to what? Babylonian, Sumerian, right? Ancient customs of witchcraft, of sorcery. Esau's been doing these things, man. America was built off of sorcery and witchcraft. So the Lord said, hey, you got to stand with that now.
Speaking of sorcery, you mind reading a little bit of this show? It's from December 31st, but it talks about a lot of the pawn payments, but like the companies involved. It was interesting because it said Visa, Amazon, MasterCard, and JP Morgan, Chase Bank.
All right. It says Palm's biometric payments gain traction with transit rollout.
And I went to that word transit. I just went to the etymology real quick, and that word transit, it said hasten over. He said, you talking about they're doing it quick. How this the quickest advancement of technology is this all this is involving what? The actual economy. It's actually involving finances, it's involving buying and selling, which links up with what? The scriptures. Go ahead.
A public transit operator in a small Asian country is joining forward-looking tech and payment giants like Amazon, JP Morgan, and MasterCard in launching Palm Biometrics to authenticate transactions. Palm payment technology also appears to align neatly with the cashless payment trend in a larger Asian nation, presenting a major potential market opportunity.
What did Egghead say? Even though that's not China, but that's an age. I think they said the country's like close to China, but it's an age that said what? That's going to be the model for the new model for the world. And I believe in that article it said that the one of the companies they started in 2023 November. Go ahead.
The capital of Uzbekistan has launched Palm biometric payments for its metro public transit system.
Oh, public transit system. So that's something that's heavily engulfed in the mass population. So, and like more likely anybody could have to use public transportation. So you see how they're grafting that in? They're grafting to where like the masses will have to use it from the least to the greatest. Go ahead.
The Tashkent Metro has installed the MyID Palm payment system, allowing passengers to pay for subway rides using the unique vein patterns in their palms.
Now this is not the MOTB, but this is part of the B system. This is laying out the groundwork, laying out the foundation. So eventually all of this MyID is all going to be implanted in your skin. And you see how they said it said it matches perfectly with the cashless society already in this place. Go ahead.
the MyID Palm scanner operates in 12 stations along the Chilinzar line from Almazar to Buyak, reports UZ Daily. Residents of Tashkent, a city of some 3 million, will need an ATTO transport card and a smartphone with the required app installed to use the MyID Palm scanner.
Now that's a very interesting line because it's basically saying that, well, it's not mandatory, but they're basically saying that if you do it like this, it will be easier for you. And that's how they're gonna do with everybody. You could have your what a Metro cards and like something like that you could hold, but then it's like not an app on your phone instead, which means what? You have to have a smartphone. You have to have some kind of electronic device that's compatible with this system, which what everybody pretty much has that, because I think pretty much now everybody has a smartphone for the most part. Go ahead.
Announced by Use Infocom, the system was developed by local specialists in collaboration with the ATTO payment service, Octobank, and the Central Asian Republic's Ministry of Transport. Following a test, so I skipped the part, but following a test period, the plan is to expand the system to all Tashkent metro stations. In addition, MyID Palm features is expected to be integrated into the Octobank mobile app, allowing users to connect any bank card for Metro fare payments.
So see, payments. What they focus on? What payments? They got these some of these medical facilities cashless payments. So they're getting you used to paying without cash and using your phone or something in your hand it's not cash, but like something digital in your hand. Go ahead.
In addition, MyID Palm feature is expected to be integrated. No, it's right there. It says Malaysia potentially exploring Palm payments. While Palm payment is not yet launched in Malaysia, and OPED explores the potential for its use in the Southeast Asian country, especially as it expands biometric and digital banking usage.
So they're making it seem like, it's not here yet, but come on now. Obviously, eventually, they're going to get just in line with it, and it's going to be that.
And you know what's interesting about these countries? These are not so-called first world countries. So why do they got this type of technology there? Because just like with the whole beast that Gates of Hell was speaking about, a lot of those V's are initially used in so-called Hamite or so-called African communities, because they test them out in these countries, because nobody's paying attention to Malaysia, right? Nobody's saying, oh, what's going on over there in these underdeveloped countries. You're not getting a lot of media press that's happening over there in Uzbekistan or Malaysia globally. So they test these things out amongst these people to see how it actually operates, see how it was going, like how the society works with it, and then they gonna bring it over to you niggas. That's why when when Babylon institutes or mandates the MOTB, it's not gonna be a pilot program of, oh, we got to see how it works and everything.
This is right here.
They gonna say, oh yeah, now we already got it mapped out. We know how it works. Right. We see how we done did the research. That's why he said that no man seeth me. But when they do these secret things, because they're doing it in places that don't really get exposure like that.
Yeah, I talk about that like that.
Then they pay off the governments over there because they're poor. So they pay off the rich part, the people that's in government, just to let them do these things over there. And a lot of these Hamite countries, a lot of the corrupt, even with the Ghana, where it's a lot of Jake that is there, but the leaders over there are corrupt. So that's why you have even over in Ghana, I believe, is one of the countries that they're actually even pushing the central bank digital currency.
Yep. All of them. Yep.
And they do that because they get the World Bank, right? They get the IMF, right? The central bank digital, the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. They get them, right? Those organizations, those NGOs, non-governmental organizations, they go to those countries like that. They pay off the leaders over there and say, oh, we want to try out these systems, right? That we have, on your population, on your citizens, to see how everything is moving, see how it would work. So then when it's time to hit Babylon, when it's time to hit the mass of Jake over here, it's just gonna get rolled right out.
It said what that city was a population of a city. That country is a population of 3 million people.
A country only 3 million.
That's less people than in this state, I think. Am I dark? Because
that's way less than people. That's less than just New York City, man. That's way less than New York City.
Oh, you was at this part, right?
Yeah.
I want you can read up to here. Like, yeah, that's the end anyway. So you can read the whole thing because that's what part.
Read it through. Just
read it through. Yeah, read through.
It says, if introduced in Malaysia, palm payment could transform sectors like retail, transportation, and healthcare. It reads
retail, transportation, and healthcare. 3 of the major markets of the economies of a country. Retail, which is like the shopping centers,
commerce.
Yeah, commerce. It said transportation, buses, planes, trains, and then healthcare. Damn sure healthcare. Back, go ahead.
The piece argues that palm payments aligns with Malaysia's cashless push and will complement existing digital payment methods like digital wallets and QR codes.
QR codes. Remember, you go to a restaurant, you don't even give you a menu no more. It's to give you the QR joint. You download the menu to your phone. Remember, they all in front of our very eyes.
Hey, Trump said that crypto, he's going to be doing great things with cryptocurrency.
Yeah. And that's part of it. It's all part of the same show. Remember doing the CD19, if you think about it, they was talking, that's when a lot of the Cassius and the CBDC started doing it more. Not talking about it, actually doing it. But nobody would talk about it because we was all locked down. But the elites and all the higher ups, they knew what was going on. The ones that's in the know, they knew what was going on. They was doing it. So when now 2025 and all these years we had now, that's when we just about bring it out. Test it out on Malaysia, go to Uzbekistan, go here, go there, put it in the train system, go to the metro, do that.
Hey, like you said, Klaus Schwab, Trump is the model. I mean, China is the model.
Right, that whole region. And ironically, what else is going on in that region? A lot of war.
Well, they also over there fight. They also got conflict with China because of what? Taiwan, which Taiwan is the world's major producer of micro CHIPs, man.
CHIP technology.
So they both. Why is America fighting China over Taiwan? You think it's because of the people? You think it's because they want to live? No, it's because they want America wants to be at the forefront of the micro CHIP technology that is going to be all throughout society. The micro CHIP isn't just about just putting it into your skin. It's going to be everything that connects to that. That's a whole system. That's why Klaus Schwab said it. That it's not going to just change society, it's going to change you. Smart cities, in order to have a smart city, you got to be smart. Everything got it. That's why they call it the Internet of Things, the Internet of Bodies. Everything is connected. Your house is going to be a smart house. You got the smartphone, but they ain't even going to use a phone no more. They was talking about that in the 2030s, which is only less than 5 years away now, technically. They said people are not even using cell phones no more. Now, you're going to have goggle glasses, right? That can now read and be interfaced, connected to your brain computer interface that you say out loud, hey, call Timmy. And then boom, something in your brain just calls them, and then you hear him through this fucking all this shit, and y'all just talking that way.
Hey, and that also goes in part of them trying to be like the Most High, because the Lord said, once I think it, it happens. So they're trying to have it to where once you think it, like it manifests. They're trying to like see, that's the whole thing. They're trying to be like the Most High. As soon as you think it, it's going to do it. But that's the only thing the Lord could do that. But at the end of the day, the Lord is what? The Lord has his own system. See, this system that you have is still man's technology. So you're gonna have flaws, you're gonna have glitches, you're gonna have issues. Even the whole thing they said, even with China and America, another thing that happened with them that they opened up that joint, DeepSeek. something like that. So where it said basically that's their version of AI or something.
Their version of Chat GTP.
Yeah, the Chat GPT, which is the AI shit, right?
Yeah.
So that's their China's version of that. And they said that when they did that, that's what they said. They said the stock market, something happened in the stock market once China opened that company.
Mhm.
So that goes to show that, yo, y'all not the big man on campus no more, man. And China, they right there. They doing a lot of things. They succeeding America. You know what I mean? But I can finish that article real quick. It's a little bit more.
However, potential challenges were also weighed, such as adoption costs since Palm payment systems require specialized hardware and smaller businesses would need to consider the space such hardware takes up.
Right. So that goes into what least and greatest, how basically everybody's going to get in line and how it's going to be harder for smaller businesses. But what? Just like in these corner stores, how they got the joint with the Apple Pay and all that, they're going to get with it if they want to stay in business.
Hey, a lot of these small businesses
Well,
might
go
taken out.
Yeah.
Why? What do you think the whole CV was for? A lot of small businesses got taken out during the lockdowns. It says major brands already on board. Palm biometric scanning is increasingly popular option for making in-person payments. Major players such as Tencent, Visa, Amazon, JP Morgan, and MasterCard are increasingly backing Palm-based payment systems.
Yo, that's every major business right now. For the most part, in the Tentakin, that's the first spot said, that's a spot in Asia. I looked at it, it's like a place in Asia. So basically like what them niggas are. But in Asia. But it said who?
Visa, Amazon, JP Morgan, and MasterCard.
JP Morgan, which is Chase Bank, Visa, MasterCard, and Amazon are increasingly getting on board.
Hey, Visa's everywhere you want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Elon Musk with X, he just made a deal with Visa for now that you could actually do payment, person-to-person payment on Amazon. I mean, not on Amazon, on X. You can do digital payment on X now.
Oh shit. Well, pay like a bill or something?
Basically like a Cash App.
Oh,
but you can do it. You can
like
do it
third party. Oh, okay, like there'll be a third party now. Damn. See, and this dude is in Trump's cabinet, and Trump got all these tech jokers,
technocracy.
Yeah, technocracies. So you go so that's the way that they want the shift to go to digital. Go ahead. I think a little more.
It says, for example, Amazon has fully developed its palm scanning technology, Amazon One, across all its Whole Foods stores in the U.S. And Tencent launched its palm payment system for WeChat across convenience stores and various retail outlets in China.
So you see how they're getting further away from it being a pilot, and it Tencent launched. So when they launch something, that means they're starting it. And well, people that can afford to go to Whole Foods, you know, when you go there, they got the palm payment joints, man. And that's been out for a couple years already. And the whole, I believe they did that during the pandemic.
They started it during the
pandemic. Yeah, they put all the machines, and then now you got to the stores. It's more self checkout, just less humans. So you see what direction that they're going. Get rid of the humans. 80% of the workforce to be chopped.
Oh, we went to I forgot where we went. My girl, she wanted a dessert, some dessert from Taco Bell. It's like an empanada thing, whatever. Okay. So we went to the drive-thru on Taco Bell, but there was no actual person doing taking the order. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It was like, oh no, there was an actual AI that was saying, I can take your order through the drive-thru. So now you got drive-thrus, don't even got an actual individual.
Yeah, where was I at? I was at where was I at? Where's that? Oh, Quick Check. I went to Quick Check. When I went to Quick Check, it was hardly no workers. You might see at Quick Check, the most workers gonna be behind making the food. We might have 2 or 3 people back there, but as far as like cashiers, because Quick Check's not that big, but like you'll have like 2 people working. And usually, where are people mostly at? The card only payments and the self checkout. And they have more, and now 7-Eleven got self checkout. Well, some of them do. Some of them are installing. I don't know about everyone, but this self checkout and cashless, humanless, universal basic income. That's all part of the beat system.
Yeah, gas stations now do Apple Pay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Apple Pay. The Apple Pay got real big during the emic, man. Because people don't carry cash no more. Because it's not that people don't like cash or whatever. It's the fact of the cash, the system, they're trying to veer away from that. You had in Starbucks in the UK, they're saying they're going completely cashless. Starbucks in the UK. So how much longer till it comes to America? Remember, people are not using cash already, but wait till they make it like, yo, it's actually cashless. We're not accepting cash no more. It's not even an option. And like that article said, it said all the major brands are behind on board. Amazon, Visa, MasterCard, the Tencent, whatever the fuck, and JP Morgan Chase. So how much? If those are the major banks and major players, how much more are the other players? Why they not gonna get in it? Remember, he said he called. Man, somebody get that Revelation 13. God, like that's it. That's where we at. Each day we're getting closer and closer to these devils bringing out the MOTB and making this like, yo, no man shall buy or sell.
And remember, these devils, starting with the elites on down, it's not like they're taking a break, right? It's not like you know what? Oh, I don't feel like moving forward right now. Like, you know how like you don't feel like working, you just take a day off. The scripture, they're not taking days off, man.
They should come on their beds.
They said that they don't rest until they cause something to fall. So this is something that is constantly, they're constantly doing these things, man. You see how quickly Trump was coming signing things. It's time to forget how much executive orders. They had 200 something in 1 week. They can just sign it. He's moving quickly, man. Hey, and that's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing. As who was that? Forgot the writer, but he said this is the best of times, it's the worst of times. Charles Dickens, this is the best of times, it's the worst of times.
Yep.
Because that's how this place goes out. It's gonna be the best of times for the elect, but it's gonna be the worst times for everybody else on the earth.
Right. Unbelievable. And it said the condemnation to the ones that didn't believe, man. See, people think they're like, yo, you fall in line with this, you're good. No, Esau doing it. He's making the system like this just so he could be like the Most High, but he's not the Most High, and he's at his end. And the fact that people don't understand it, that goes to show how the Lord blinded you. Whereas it don't change the fact that we're at the end. It don't change the fact he's the devil. It don't change the fact that the white man is Esau. But it just gonna matter. What side of the judgment do you want to be on when the Lord brings that wrath to Esau and to the other nations? Do you want to be part of 2/3 of our people, or would you rather be part of the elect? Now, ultimately, it's not your choice anyway. But that's it. That's the only choice. There's no other options. The Lord said that, yo, he told Esau to stand without enchantments, but he basically said he bring him down. So if he's the one at the top, what the fuck do you think it's gonna be for the rest of the inhabitants of the earth? It said, well, to the inhabitants of the earth. But
Isaiah 36 verse 6 in the GNT. You are expecting Egypt to help you, but that would be like using a reed as a walking stick. It would break and would jab your hand.
But you know the reed, it looked like what's the greed joint? It's like like a skinny palm. That's hard to describe. But when you see the reed, it's like, yo, imagine walking with that.
As a cane.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So it says, it would be like using a reed as a walking stick. It would break and it would jab your hand.
Uh-huh.
This is what the king of Egypt is like when anyone relies on him.
And that's exactly who Trump is, the king of Egypt. Remember in Revelation said what the city that's spiritually Sodom and Egypt. We just talked about, the land of your captivity. Where would you last in captivity and delivered from? Egypt. This carries on the same shadow. It carries the shadow of Egypt.
Another quick one.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 19 verse 4. It says, I will hand the Egyptians over to a tyrant. This is in the GNT. To a cruel king who will rule them. I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken. And that's Trump.
King.
Yep. This is the cruel. He's coming cruel, man. Because like how you was talking about, I think we were talking about it in the car, but Trump right now, he doesn't have any, I need to get reelected, right? Oh, I got to make sure I get a high level of approval by everybody. They're talking about some congressman. He passed a bill to try to get Trump to get a third term in office.
With it.
They're talking about Trump being a dictator. Like, we're gonna keep him in here, so it may not be another president, man. It might just be this until you out, and that would be very fitting.
I was talking with somebody like, yo, Trump might very well be the last president that America sees, and that's why he's gonna go out. That's why he's going out with such cruelties. Because if he's the last president, it says what? He should come down upon you with cruel wrath, because he know if he have but a short time, which means these devils know that their time is short. They see they see us out here. Think about it. We're their thorn. When they seen the prophets come up for the first time, they're like, yo, that's when everything had to speed up. And ironically, what, the late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, now look where we at. 2000, everything got worse. Jake got worse. Esau got worse. Everybody got wickeder. The folly was set in great dignity more and more every day.
And at least we're getting exposed more too.
Yeah, that too.
People weren't talking about the Illuminati and the secret cabal. People weren't speaking against the Amalekites, telling them that they're the Amalekites. Nobody was speaking about Esau, Edom. It wasn't until the prophets, our elders and their elders came out on the scene that Esau started to be revealed. That starts being spoken about in the grand scheme of life, man.
It never stopped.
Esau started to be revealed the wicked, man, and that's actually a sign of the end. It said that then shall the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming.
And think about it. That's what's happening right now. See, once you're revealed, you can't be unrevealed. Once the secret is exposed, the secret is known. You can't go backwards. No matter how much you try, no matter how much you try to still be conniving and lying and deceiving, your enchantments don't work no more.
Hey, what happened at the end of all the Scooby-Doo TV shows?
I ain't really watched Scooby-Doo like that.
Well, they would take off the mask.
Oh, yeah.
We're like, oh, it was him. And he said, what? I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids. But that's what Esau's saying. I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling prophets. I could have gotten my plan off.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth. Oh, it's fine. Revelations 13 and 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
And that's all part, his technology, because like you think about it, I think we told it a little ways back. Like when you think about like actual like Esau's technology, because we talk about like in this age of Esau's rulership, this is the technology got the most advanced, all this shit. Like,
nah, there was a my bad. There was a quote that some person said. I seen it at my job, and it said that well advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. And that's exactly what Esau is doing, man.
This AI shit is a perfect. This AI shit. It's on Instagram, but it's like it looked real. But like with the AI, they said the only thing with AI, you can always tell it's fake, but it looks real enough to where it's very impressive. But they said it's like with AI, they said it's like something with like something as far as the time and release that like it's something a little off because it's fake. But they were showing people like hand wrestling each other. Like they showed like Michael Jackson and Prince arm wrestling each other, but the shit looked real as hell. And I was like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? So like those wonders that Esau doing the technology, the cryptocurrency, everything where you ain't gotta be there, and like the FaceTiming and all this shit, texting, all of this stuff that he been doing this for years. Those great wonders, people like, to see, like, man, you something.
You gotta think about it. If you during the time of John, if you told John, they're like, I can talk to somebody in Babylon right now. Right? Let's not even say on the other side of the world. Right. If you on the Isle of Patmos, I can talk to somebody that's in the Judea right now. They were like, what are you talking about? Your family over there? I got this thing. I'm gonna go talk to them. They don't look at a phone as magic. They don't look at it as a miracle.
Loki is. Like in that sense, yeah.
Yeah. But now when you even go even further what Esau is doing, now Esau is saying, wait, I can tap into certain things to expand your life. I can actually give you immortality. I can cure you're blind. Oh, you don't gotta pray to the God. You don't gotta pray to the God of heaven. I got technology. I got nanotechnology that can actually give you your sight back. Oh, you're a quadriplegic. You don't gotta pray for healing. No, you don't gotta have faith in the Lord. I got this brain computer interface that can actually make you walk again. So everybody in the world, they're looking at the Esau's technology as miracles, man.
Right.
They're saying, oh, this is miracles. This is an actual miracle. Technology is a miracle.
And the stuff we have now, like the telephone and all that, when it first came out, it was looked at as like crazy. Like the what's the shit what's that shit called? I'm sure you might know. What's the shit joints called? Like back in the day, like when you press this shit, is that Morse code?
Morse code?
Or is
Well,
that Morse?
that's what the like military.
No, well, not Morse code. What is the shit like you press this and it was like it was sending off to people.
Oh, I guess he's talking about Morse code.
Oh, it's Morse code. Yeah, shit like that. And on the TV, like when all the radios all this came out, it was like, yo, that's the next best thing. Because you wasn't in the building, but you could hear like a fight, like a boxing match or a sports event. You weren't there, but you could hear them commentating on it.
And all Esau is doing, in order to do that, you're actually sending radio frequency waves through the air. So you're when you look at technology and the ability to like transmit information, you are tapping into a very elementary level of being able to manipulate the radio waves that are in the air. Because we're talking right now, where brothers could be all the way across the world and they can hear us speak. That's the voices that we're speaking into this phone. This phone has a connection to the satellite. That satellite that's in the sky is sending those through the frequency back from this phone to their phones, all the way on the other side of wherever they're at.
Word. we were talking about me and this brother right here. We talk about when we was watching the TV. He was like, "Yo, we're so used to TV, but you gotta imagine like what you said is like, yo, it's mad wires till we could watch something in a whole other state or a whole other country, like televised events. Like you're watching something that's happening at the present time, but you're not there, but you're able to see it from a bunch of wires being put in a bunch of shit."
And what is he doing? What did he do with those wires? Because back in the day, you had mad wires, right?
Yeah.
It'd be a big ass box.
Yeah.
But what he's doing, he's making it smaller and smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Microsoft, right? That's what Bill Gates is on, Microsoft. So that micro is small. The soft is the software. That is now becoming smaller and smaller to where he's saying, oh, we can just have everything connected if we just put this Microsoft where inside of you.
Fire stick. A smaller
Oh,
fire stick.
yeah.
Oh yeah, like a remote. Yeah. Fire stick.
Go down 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
And that's that great persecution coming too, yo. What it said, why don't you want, why is he going to be killing people because they don't worship the beast? Because they're not complying with his system. The same thing they did in a sense with the V, even though they wasn't killing, well, they actually were killing people. But as far as like not getting it, what would happen? Oh, they were threatening your job. Oh, you couldn't go to certain places. You couldn't go to certain venues. So in a sense, they was killing, they would kill what? Kill your connection to society. Yeah, your livelihood. They're killing your connection to society. And that's what we're gonna do ultimately when we bring out the MOTB to the masses. If you don't have this, you can't buy or sell. What the fuck else is the point of being here? What else you can do in America if you're not buying and selling? You can't just be living off the grid and just be chilling. You still have to have the commerce. We were talking about in Baby Boy, he said what? Oh, everything's about transaction. Commerce, nigga. That's what this is about, buying and selling. That's Esau's kingdom. It's buying and selling. There's no like you. They don't like you. He don't want you living off the land. He don't want you growing your own shit. He don't want you having no kind of thing, so you don't have to rely on him at all. And that's what
when they came down upon Jerusalem in 70 AD, the siege of Jerusalem. Before they actually ran in there, they besieged it, right? They surrounded it and cut off the water supply. Guess what? A lot of Israelites died during that time, but the actual Romans didn't kill nobody. But they actually separated them from a source of importance and central, aka water. So a lot of people died. So same thing with the brother is saying, when they say that don't worship the beast should be killed. It may not, Esau, that's not gonna just busting through your door, and it's going to do to some people, but it's not like going to just be a whole system of government, or you don't got the blah, 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 it's going to start. Nah, it's going to be, hey, you don't want to be a part of society. Okay, well, you can't buy or sell. You can't eat. We ain't going to kill you. You doing it to yourself.
Right. With Xerxes, all you have to do is bow. Just bow, basically comply. But he said, what? It's just some of you that should not bow to Baal. Because the elect are not going to bow and cower to these devils, man. No matter how bad it gets. And that's what we hope for the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem shall to stay strong on us in that time, man. Because that time is approaching closer and closer and faster and more tense. You look what's happening over there in California. There was Jakes up in there. Not the Hollywood, but the other part, they said that was a lot of Jake neighborhoods, man. At Philadelphia, I don't know North Philadelphia if there's more Jake or not, but I know that was Jake because I heard talking. You said which one of your brothers said there was Jake. So with all this, in the midst of all this shit, and remember you still got all that 15-minute city they want to do.
Oh yeah, but I say in LA, they said they trying to have that up by 2028.
Oh, and they said that with the Cali fires, that they said that not the rich people, but the people that weren't rich, they said as they were trying to come back, they were saying that they weren't allowed to come back to get shit from their crib. So why is that? They cooking up something. But continue that.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name.
So when they come in with the global reset, so as they're continuing to like hammer this current system, this current way of life, how they doing it, they're gonna keep hammering and hammering until there's no more. That's why everything is the hyperinflation, all that, the prices going up. That's going to continue until there's no more. But they can't just change it. They have to do it to where like, yo, this system is no more good. But who's the one making it no more good? It's them. And now, since they're not making it no more good, it's making it worse and worse. They're like, we got this new system on board. And ultimately, you're going to have what? They're going to come in with a universal basic income. Test it out. Like, you remember how they did in the stimulus? Yeah, like, yeah, you're going to get paid. No one has to work no more. Everybody going to be like, yo, we ain't got to work. This, that, and the third. They're going to forget about this. This is same con man. The same con man have been conning you for centuries. And you still think he's going to be at his end? He's going to be nice to you? If they come into where it's saying, yo, you don't have to work no more, but you still get paid, that's not going to trigger something? Elon Musk said 80% of the workforce to be slashed. Slashed. Which means 80% of the population in the world is not going to work. But it said goods and services will remain and you will still get paid. How are you going to get paid and how the goods and services going to remain if nobody's working? AI, robots. Simple. The same shit in those futuristic movies, Judge Dredd, RoboCop, Terminator, all those movies, that's the same niggas. iRobot. Oh, definitely iRobot. Demolition Man. That was a good one. So and remember, these movies didn't come out that long ago. They didn't come out that long ago. So like that means that them trying to do it now, that means that all right, this like, art imitates life. So in the future, like 40, 50 years down the line, look where we at right now. AI, robots, digital currency, you don't have to pay. I'm telling you, the show Batman Beyond, yo, it's a pure example of what's going on now, man. Everything was like just digital. And Bruce Wayne wasn't that, and Bruce Wayne was still around. But continue that.
Last verse.
Yeah.
Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
So 666, 300, 3 score is 60, 666, right? Now, John wrote that thousands of years ago. Now, we up here now, we talk about devil worship, Satan worship, all of that. What's the numbers? 666, right? Oh, ironically, it happens to be the number of the Satan worshipers. So these same people who represent Satan on a broad scale. Now you have Satan worship that could be anybody, but who's at the forefront? Who's the face? Esau. So the so-called white man. He is the face of Satan and all that Masonry and all that shit, man. This is his kingdom. When you think about who calls the shots on the earth right now, you would think of a white person, whether it be an American or British or anything. Esau has the majority of he has the fatness of the earth. Anywhere Esau goes, he's always comfortable. These niggas can go anywhere and take over the shit. You know? You go to how much?
Already at 2. So.
Okay, so cause it's shit, yo, he's being revealed, man. He's been revealed, and you're just gonna keep getting revealed more and more until you have no choice but to shut the prophets down. Because when you think about it, when they come and shut the internet down, why are we gonna shut this down? Because they stop the word from being pushed. Because all the time on the internet was finally being pushed, and it's still being pushed. But what else is being pushed on the internet as well? The truth.
Well, they're not going to shut the internet.
Not shut it. I mean, not shut it down, but start making. What you talking about before? When you want to stay on
biometric ID.
Yeah, get your put your information and buy my ID and biometric shit. They're gonna make it to where like you have to comply with the beast. If you want to stay online,
worship the beast. You got to bow the knee to the beast in order to be a part of the system.
Because like you said, they can't shut the internet down because the internet is part. That's how the whole system works. The internet and the
digital
web.
system, the digital system needs the internet.
It needs the server. The internet is the way that all this shit still flows, but they're gonna have more control. They're gonna have more, like, you know what I'm saying? More control.
What do they call it? The World Wide Web. What is a web? A web is something that you get entrapped in.
Snares.
You get entangled in. So you're having this entangled, this entrapment worldwide.
He calls them all. So you can bring that up. Sorry about that.
Second Thessalonians 6. Now you
Chapter
know.
2 verses.
Verse 2.
No, chapter 2 verses. You just said the verse.
Kind of, okay. Second Thessalonians 6, right?
Chapter 2 verse 6.
Oh, chapter 2, verse 6. Sorry. And now you know what withholdeth that he might be revealed in his time. Verse 7. For the mystery of iniquity doeth already work.
And the time that he's being revealed is the time we're living in right now, because this devil's been running amok for centuries in his American empire. He's been running amok for centuries and nobody was calling him out. Man, the time we was here in slavery, the time he came over here and oppressed the Native American, so-called Native American Indians, Gad and Reuben, the tribes, he came over here and nobody stopped him. And there was no prophets. But the Lord brought the prophets what? At the last time. At the time he's to be revealed. He's been revealed that, yo, you're Esau. You're Amalek. You have defended. You rule. You're the one that been calling the shots in secret. Your secret councils. But now you're being exposed, and now you can't go back. And that's why you gonna come down with the cruel ride. Because now that you're exposed, you're like, I don't gotta be hiding no more. But shit, fuck it. I got my just go in. Go ahead.
Only he who now will let until he have taken out of the way.
He is taken out the way, man. So he got to be taken out the way for him to stop. Esau, the so-called white man, the elites, they're going to always practice mischief. They always going to devise mischief upon their beds. That's all they know. That's what they've been ingrained in their spirit. That's what the Lord reserved them to be, as the children of perdition, the seed of the wicked. That's what I said since his youth. So since the very beginning of time, this devil's been like this, man. He ain't gonna change. But a leopard cannot change its spots. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
Yeah, that wicked shall be revealed, and the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. And what exactly is that? That great heat, that great fire, the wrath of his indignation.
Okay, that's speaking about actually the prophets. The spirit of his mouth is the prophet.
Oh yeah. It's like, yeah. And we come with that fire.
And he's being consumed. Hey, it's good. The scripture does say that. It's not my word fire, and these people chat. So yeah, the Lord is consuming this devil because he's doing all this whole shift, this whole thing is because his word's coming out. He's feeling the heat on him.
And it said in Book of Hebrews, it said that angels are menacing spirits of fire. Now we're not the actual angels in a sense, but we're angels as the messengers because we're the ones that reveal him or have revealed him. But he's still gonna get that work.
Well, that's the second part.
Yeah.
The brightness of his coming.
And shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
The brightness of his coming. So when Yahushua returns to the earth, when he comes back, plants himself back on the earth, he's gonna be coming hot and heavy. And when they see him, they're gonna be like, oh damn, we're fucked. And that's gonna be the flow for everybody that was scoffing, Even talking about our own people that were scoffing, the people that paid it no mind, that thought it was a joke, that thought, yo, man, they thought, yo, the evil day should not come. The ones that asked, yo, speaking to smooth words, the ones that said, yo, man, how could you believe something like that, so crazy like that? You could be doing this, that, and the third. I remember the brother, South Carolina, he did a video, some bitch was talking about, don't you Israelite, when something happens, everybody want to be an Israelite. And then don't you have something better to do? And he's like, no, we don't. What else is better there to do? Everything that people in this world talk about in this world is all going to shit. This is the only thing that has been able to withstand the test of time, the test of adversity. The truth still stands strong. You talk about, you're a Lord and you can travel anywhere you want. Okay, and soon enough, you want to be one of them planes that crash? Because that seems to be the rhetoric what's going on right now. Let a couple more of these crashes happen. Let's see how much more you want to travel and do all that shit. What?
Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders.
Mm-hmm. The workings of Satan after Satan. With what was that? Warren Powers? What's that, Papa?
With all power and signs and lying wonders.
Yo, and that's what we seeing right now. His new system he's trying to bring, that it's gonna be something crazy. It's gonna seem like, because remember, like the generation coming up now, that's like youngins now, they're gonna be engulfed in this. And that's what they want. That's what they want everybody else. We want people that's not gonna resist. We want people that's not gonna we want people that's all they know is this. But that's why the Lord gotta come back, because soon or later we get older, we'll die. The apostles, they're old right now. They're like in their 60s, 70s. So who's gonna come up after us? Like the brother said, we talk about all the time, like they're gonna have babies get chipped. See him. But I ain't getting much time. Anybody got anything to say? All right. So with that, Lord, when it's edifying, we give all praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, all I can preach the truth. Shalom.